G'day guys, DM Philosopher here, Matt's the name. Just going to go for my latest battle mat here. So this is a roughed forest path, and this one is curved. So I've done a straight path already, and the curved one definitely offers a new location. So let's jump in there and have a look at this map then. So this is the curved path, so it comes in here from the left of the screen and works its way towards the downward part of the screen. We have got high ground sort of surrounding the path. We've got some high ground up here in the top left hand side here, and there's a bit of a curved sort of hill ramp that leads up to there, and then we've got high ground on the top right hand side here, and then it sort of continues down the right hand side of the screen here, and here's the raised sort of ramp hill part that leads up to that high ground. We've got high ground here at the bottom left, and we've got the sort of the ramp slope that leads up to it here, and that also leads up to this high ground here, which looks in over this sort of canyony box canyon sort of configuration there. So it's a very large battle space. It's 85 by 45, so that's something like 400 odd feet by 225 odd feet or something like that. So it's a very large battle space. It can contain large encounters that sort of sprawl and move around, and so there's no need for sort of tiling excessively like some packs do. Most packs are about, I think, 24 by 36 or something like that, so considerably smaller. But yeah, so this is the daytime gridded map. We've got the daytime gridless map, the nighttime gridded map, and then the nighttime gridless map. We have these point of view shots here. These make great player aids. They're good for showing players, and as you can see, these point of view shots sort of have worked their way down the path, and then they look back at the ramp that leads up to sort of the top left hand upper ground, and that's the bottom left hand slash the curved part there, and then you can see this raised ramp that leads up to the top right hand side high ground, and that's the sort of the right hand side of the map down there, and then we just work our way down the path till we reach sort of the edge of the map. Here is the top left hand raised or high ground, and you can see it better from this oblique angle, and from here, this is the vantage point you have when you're up on that high ground. So you're looking down over the bottom left hand side and the bottom sort of mid part of the map there, and further along that high ground you get a better look at that ramp part that leads up to that bottom high ground, and looking towards the curve in the path. Here, this is the high grounds that sort of wraps around that sort of box canyon, and then we've got the high ground here. Again, you can see it quite clearly, the ramped sort of hill that leads up to it, and this is what you can see from that vantage point. So that's the top high ground there, looking down over the path and more of the high ground, looking over the ramp that leads up to the top right hand high ground of the map, and that's the left hand side there, and then we're looking down into that sort of box canyon configuration there from a couple of different angles, and yes, this is the ramp to the top right hand side of the map, and this is the vantage point here, so you can see the horizontal path through the map there, and looking down to as it curves around towards the bottom of the map there. And there's also an alcove in there which would make a good spot for an ambush, and this is the box canyon part here, so just a couple of views of that. So we've got the entranceway here, so we're looking sort of towards the bottom of the map here, and you can see there's plenty of space in there anyway, and this is down at ground level for the box canyon as well. I've got exactly the same point of view shots, just taken with a nighttime filter, exactly the same angles, locations and something like that, just darker. So these make for much more atmospheric uses of player handouts, good for keeping the mood and keeping those shadows looking scary. And if you do have characters with dark vision, then you could use those lighter shots, even though it's at night time. Give them the lighter shots, so that way they actually feel like they're benefiting and seeing an insight into these locations that they're that the characters would have, and those characters without dark vision, they get the dark ones, so you'd get a bit of a discrepancy on who's acting on what, so what information they can see. So yeah, so then we get to the same map. It's the exact same map, but I've put a campsite in here. So this campsite could be the PCs, it could be other travelers, the people that they're hunting down and something like that. Now if this is the PCs camp, then obviously if they're not aware of this ramp up, then creatures could gain the high ground around them and then corner them in here. Yeah, so same goes if it's the PCs going to see what's going on down there. So that's light there. Now, just as a note, the resolution is there. Just you can see that when you zoom in, you still got the same detail. So I'm working on a 4K monitor. So what you're seeing is downscaled to 1080p from 4K, just because OBS will crap itself. Basically my point is that what you can see on the top left hand side of this map is what you'd get on a 1080p monitor, sort of native. So definitely got the detail there. But this is the campsite, gridded, ungridded, nighttime, which looks very nice, and then gridless there. I've got a few point of view shots just to sort of show the campsite. I haven't done the whole map again, just focused on the angles where you can see sort of the light reflecting off parts there. And at night time, yeah, that draws the eye, the way that light sort of shines off those box canyon walls. It's quite nice. So that is the rough forest path that's curved. Bit of a mouthful there, but just it's clear what it is. You can find that on RPG Now, and I'll post a link to that underneath my YouTube clip. Hopefully when you combine it with my other forest maps, then you really can utilize a mixed group of scenarios, different layouts, different environments. The map is of such a scale that you could just operate off a small part of it for one encounter. Like you could have the characters positioned up on, let me go back there, not that one, just find a map. So you could have the characters coming along here, and with the grid, if I go back one more to the grid, they could be here and they could be ambushed, and you could operate in this space here, generally the encounter would unfold relatively smoothly from there. Likewise, you could run a small ambush just in this part of the map. You could do it based on the camp in this part of the map. You could do it, so you can use the map, because it's so large, you could use it in a number of different ways. Anyway, I'm getting on a bit. It's 7.5 minutes or 8 minutes, so so thanks for listening, and happy gaming, people.